What's up, guys? Welcome back to yet another Dragon Blaze video. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to get back to some more investment series. We're going to finish up the mage series today. I'm not going to be doing anything until about after 11 o'clock because they're going to reset everything, obviously because of the merger. But let's see what events we got. We got new ones. World Boss Best Record event. Make sure you're participating in that. There's lots of good resources here. Daily Exploration Success event. More resources here. This is also great stuff to get in first week, second week, and third week. So we're on the second here. Bingo event. Make sure you're participating in this. Bingo should have reset it. Yep. So we're going to be doing some bingoing as well. There's a lot of stuff to do. Your Zodiac event, your Courage event, and your Caledon. Make sure you are doing this. This is very important to get more resources and all that good stuff. We are going to open up some packs real quick. Get these done real quick. We're going to be doing a lot of Dragon Blazing today. That's for sure. Some of it's going to reset, some of it's not. I'm not going to do any of the main stuff until then. I just want to kind of get through this real quick. I'm not going to accept or anything as well until the reset. But yeah, let's get into our mage video. Let's go ahead and get this rock and roll. And this is the last one before we do warriors, since I already did one for one of my peoples. But Winter. So let's see if Winter is actually any good. She's a mage, magic, DPS. Let's go to preview skills. And if I do skip like abilities, it's because there's nothing else needs to be covered by them. Because usually I do that with a lot of videos, and I'll explain that here in a second. But her attack says attack on enemy, inflicts additional skill damage on the enemy. Increase your NIT upon normal attack 7th phase for 3.3 seconds, which is great because that's one of their main stats. It's not bad. Next, her first skill says inflicts 3,710% skill damage on one enemy, 21.2 seconds cooldown. Let's see why. She has 3 specialties. The first one says inflicts 1,484% additional skill damage on nearby enemies, which is what we want. We like AoE. That's very nice to have right there. The second one says increase your NIT by 23%, magic attack by 93%, and skill attack by the same percentage for all allies. 7th phase, 5 stacks. I mean, it's going to stack 5 times. That's actually very meaningful. You know, you definitely want this for your mage setup, your mage team for sure. It's very important to have that in a 7th phase. So as long as nothing 7th phase or higher or lower messes with it, it should stay the same. If anything higher, it can you can lose your buff from debuffs and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. And then her third one, it says cast Ice Dignity on self. 7th phase for 15 seconds. That effect is increase your NIT by 58% and attack speed by 10%, which is nice. So I'm liking her already. She kind of boosts herself up and boosts your team to kind of make sure y'all guys get the job done. That's actually pretty awesome. The second one says inflicts 1,908% skill damage on all enemies, 26.6 cooldown, well, seconds. And let's see why. Specialty 1, it says increased receive magic damage by 74% for one enemy. 7th phase, 5 stacks only for bosses, and that's okay. I mean, we do need stuff to hurt bosses too, so that's all good. And the second one says cast a lightning strike on all enemies. 7th phase for 20 seconds. That effect says receives 740% of Winter's attack as additional damage upon every attack received. So that's actually quite powerful. So you definitely want her attack to kind of be up so this can deal lots of damage, and this may do more. So we're going to look at it. I'm not sure if it's just one effect or not, so we'll take a closer look at that here in a second. And then the last was your signature skill. Upon 100% signature energy, 3 specialties. The first one says inflicts 8,268% skill damage on a random enemy 10 times. So that's very meaningful. That's going to do a lot of damage. 10 times. That's a lot of damage. The second one says increase magic attack by 509% and range attack by the same percentage for all allies 7th phase, 5 stacks. That is very powerful. That is very, very powerful and very meaningful. That's going to do a lot of work for you and your team. And then the third one says cast Blizzard on all enemies 7th phase for 40.5 seconds. So we're going to get to that. And sometimes if I do go through the skills and then I kind of like just pass by them, it's because everything's already been talked about. So we have here, we have to go back to the first one because there is an effect 2 here. It says when attacking enemies, inflicts 2 times additional skill damage. So this is one of those examples where I can't skip over it because there's another effect here. And then here as well, there's only one here. So I've already talked about it, so I can move on for it. I don't have to re-go over the skill because it's on the screen. Usually I'll go back and kind of cover stuff if it's not all fully there, and I said that in multiple videos. Now here, there's another effect here because we only got the one. There's 2 here. Blizzard effect 1, it says all received damage becomes critical hit, which is super important because critical hit does the most damage. And then the second one says inflicts 2,544% continuous damage every second. So that's very critical. So Raging Snowstorm, which is pretty amazing. So she's going to do a lot of damage, guys, for sure. She's going to do a lot of damage. Very, very awesome. And then we have her first passive, says personal passive, increase NIT by 64%, magic attack by 239%, additional boss damage by 119%. That's pretty good. Ally aura says increase NIT by 24% and skill attack by 95%. Specialty inflicts 5 times skill damage upon normal attack, nemesis only. So that's basically like your world boss, which is fine. I mean, we need to hit them hard. The second one says class passive mage aura 1, increase NIT by 32% and magic attack by 127%. Mage aura 2, increase NIT by 64%, magic attack by 254%, and additional boss damage by 127%, nemesis and gen only. Incanter aura 1, increase magic attack by 127%, skill attack by the same percentage, and additional boss damage by 64%, which is quite good. I mean, if you have some incanters on your team, you can she will help boost them up and stuff like that. That's why they have those aura effects there for specific classes, so that's actually pretty good. Aura 2, increase magic attack by 254%, skill attack by the same percentage, and additional boss damage by 127% for nemesis passive only. So definitely going to be your person to have with when it comes to world bosses. She does help the team out, especially for mages and incanters. And then you have your nemesis passive, gen passive as well, we just talked about. Personal passive, increase magic attack by 636%, skill attack by 636%, same percentage, additional boss damage by 318%, which is pretty good. So, I mean, she's going to get powerful against these guys for sure. And then ally aura, increase main stats by 64%, magic attack by 254%. The first one was 64%. And then the same thing for your skill attack, additional boss damage by 127%. So all meaningful, good stuff here. I mean, she's going to be great for your lineup and for your gen and stuff like that for sure. I may have to put some resources into her as well eventually. But the new mage is quite broken, so I really don't know. Her specialty 1, it says ice dignity effect is applied on self when attacking enemies, inflicts 5 times additional skill damage, which is quite amazing. Specialty 2 says effect is applied on self when attacking enemies, inflicts 10 times additional skill damage, nemesis only. So of course they're gonna tease us and spoil us and not give us that much damage to everybody else. So I mean, she's quite good, and it doesn't show my abilities here for some reason, which is weird. It shows that one. And then for her infinity skill, her infinity passive, of course, it says personal passive increase NIT by 41%. Ally aura, increase magic attack by 76%. Specialty 1, inflicts 2,650% additional skill damage on one enemy upon normal attacks. Specialty 2, upon using Icy Dignity, increase magic attack by 93% and range attack by the same percentage for all allies. 7th phase, 5 stacks. So here we go. That's very useful for your team, and then obviously for your nemesis and stuff like that. It says increase ally aura. AoE attack by 100% and additional boss damage by 62%. So what do I think about her? I think she's going to be pretty good for your team, especially if we get into the game. She does a lot of buffing for you and your team, mainly for mages and a little bit for enchanters. Definitely like her quite a bit. I think she's going to be very useful if we're trying to find a lot more mages, even though the new 4th impact mage is pretty insane. I would kind of focus her on her, but if you're having a hard time obtaining her, you need a good mage. I've covered EOS, I've covered her. I believe this is the last mage actually as well. So I've covered all the mages. You can look at them and find you a good mage setup, at least for the 3rd impact section. But overall, she's actually pretty awesome. I believe she's going to put in a lot of work if you want to put time into her. But I hope you liked the video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. That will be it, and I will see you for the next one.